They 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 um they just looked through it and then they just closed the blinds again. I'm like, okay, what? This doesn't make any sense. And then someone else came in from another apartment. So I was, wait, what is wrong with my face? Yeah, someone was coming in from another apartment. So I went in and I started knocking on the door, and they're like, "Oh, we can't let you in." I'm like, "Why? What happened?" Like, our mom told us you're kicked out. I'm like, "What? Wait, why?" They're like, "Well, wait till she gets here." Like, we can't let you in. So I'm like, then at least give me my stuff. They're like, you can't wait till my mom gets here. Give me my fucking stuff. I was sad. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? And then I started crying, and I called Step Up and left him a message. And I didn't know what to do. I left a message because they were closed at that time. I think I couldn't get to my therapist or a caseworker if I had one. And I was crying like, I don't know where to go. Where am I supposed to go? And then when the lady finally came, she like, how did you get in here? I'm like, someone else came in. And then she's like, well, you're kicked out. I'm like, why? And so what I did was I took my stuff. Again, I didn't know what to do. So that night, I took my stuff before she came back, and I took it to my dad's house because I had nowhere else to put it. And I kept my clothes, and I stayed. She let me stay one more night because she said it's illegal to sleep on the street over there, which she didn't live very far from my dad's place. That's why I was able to go there. And then I went to school, and I just did schoolwork and everything. And I remember there was a guy there who kept joking like I was homeless, but I was finally homeless. But I was like, no, I just didn't want people to worry about me, so I didn't say anything. I'm not mad at the guys for saying I'm homeless, but it's like I'm truly homeless now, and I was, I don't. And then when I told Step Up, I don't remember what happened afterwards. I was kicked out. I think they just immediately found a place for me quickly. Um, so yeah. Um, so I don't even know how they got. I don't even know what happened. I don't even remember since I forgot. Um, and I remember I was with my therapist at the time. She was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "She kicked me out. I don't know what to do." I think they immediately found a place for me to be at, which is a board and care. I went there for about a year, for about 6 months. I didn't have to pay anything because Step Up was I was a minor. No, because I was a TAY, which is a transitional age use, because I was mentally ill, and I was there for about 6 months. And I had another episode during my last month there, or a few months before, like probably fourth, fifth month. Um, and I had another episode, my other mental illness breakdown, um, and no, I didn't have it at the time, but one time I started hearing voices, and I thought I could talk to Kendall Smith from Big Time Rush through my head, and I remember one time I was hearing his voice all the time, and I remember one time I was asleep, and next thing I know, I'm outside. It's black. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I kind of knew, and I kind of knew, but not really what was going on. And I was outside. It was pitch black outside, and I was walking the street. I had no idea how I got there. I don't remember waking up. I don't even know if I was in regular clothes or pajamas or what. I think I was in regular clothes, and in that state, like we live near. I live at the time. I lived near a school. If I walked for about 10 minutes, and I thought I was a pedophile for some apparent reason, because like I told you, when I first had my mental breakdown after Anime Expo, I thought I was in love with kids or something, for some reason, because I thought the people from Big Time Rush were 16 and they were faking it, or they were, no, I thought they were younger than that. I thought they were like, I don't know why. Well, I'm mentally ill, so of course I didn't. My mind doesn't make sense. I thought they were actually like 7 or 9, and I thought I had molested them, and I thought if I was by a school that I was gonna be. I thought anyone that walks in front of a school or around a school wasn't allowed to be there if they were over 18, and I thought if I walked past the school or was on their street or around them, I was gonna be arrested and sent to jail or something, and because they will say, "Oh, you're a pedophile," or say, "Oh, since you're not a family member or a parent or something like that, you're going to jail for being around the school," or something like that. And I was like terrified, and I remember walking the streets, and I'm like, I can't go home. I don't know where I am. And I remember hearing voices. I thought I was talking to Jesus, like Christians, Catholics, the people that like Satan. And I'm like, oh, if you like this place, you can't go here, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember at that, and I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And I remember walking, and I remember I was going to cross the street legally, but cars were going really, really fast. And I was like, I'll just cross the street anyway. It was very hard. It was like halfway, I wanted to do it, halfway I didn't want to. And I wanted to cross the street anyway, but I was trying my hardest not to. I'm like, if I cross this street, I'm gonna die. So I didn't eventually. I struggled for like 5 minutes. So I decided not to. And I remember, I don't remember when I crossed the street back to the same street where the boarding care was, but I wasn't near the boarding care, I don't think. And I remember walking, and I remember walking, and I remember seeing a bus bench, and there was a homeless guy there, and I went and sat next to him, and I was just sitting there, and he put a blanket over me, over my shoulders, and then he's touched me down there, and I was like, no, this is what I have to do. I'm like, this is what I like, which is not true. And then eventually I got up and left. And I remember walking somewhere, and I crossed the street again, and I don't even know. And then I saw a car accident, and I saw a cop. I'm like, oh my God, fuck yes, I need a cop. I didn't say fuck yes to myself, but I'm like, oh my God, a cop. I need to get to a cop and get them to take me somewhere, because I have no idea where the fuck I am, and I need to get home at the boarding care. So I called. So when I went to the cop, they say, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And I was like, I was just being quiet, I think. And eventually they said, okay, just get into the car. And they took me to the car, and they put me in. They detained me. Not detained me, but they just put what are they called? Handcuffs on me, and they put me in the back. I've been in a back of a police car before when I had another mental breakdown, but don't worry about it. I should have talked about it. Whatever. Anyway, they took me back to my boarding care. I don't even know how they knew. I don't even remember telling me my name. And they took me back there, and I was telling them the whole time, like, there was this old guy who molested me. And when I got back to the boarding care, they're like, no, she's faking it, she's lying. I'm like, how do you fucking know? I wasn't here. And they just left me there. And they called someone else to come to assess me. And I told them a lot of stuff. I told them I was transgender. I told them I had voices. I told them, like, I had my original characters in my head were talking instead. And he was taking over, which is probably not what's happening. And I don't remember the rest. Anyway, I remember, let's see. I don't remember the rest of it. But I remember one time when I was somewhere else. I don't know where I was. I can't remember what started it. I forgot now. I'm sorry. I'm putting things all over the place. Excuse me. I remember another time when I had another mental breakdown. I was in downtown LA, I had no place to go. Oh, wait. I don't remember. I remember when I was going through when I first started having right after I was living with my mom back after the first mental breakdown thing. No, I don't know. Oh, I remember. My brother had picked me up that time from the Alhambra mental hospital. He when I got home, I don't remember. I remember nothing. I remember I went to another hospital or something. I remember now. I was there. I was at my mom's place, and I was sleeping on the couch bed thing, the sofa bed, with the bed part, not just the sofa. I left. I walked to the police, and I told them I don't remember, and I was gonna. I totally forgot what I was gonna tell them. But I remember I was talking to them, and I told them I was thinking about telling them, oh, I was kidnapped, and my mom's name was Angela Davis, but I never told them that. And they tried to take me home, and they didn't. They took me to a mental hospital in Culver City. No, not they took me to the hospital in Culver City, and I was there for about a few hours. Yeah, probably a few hours, and they but before they took me there, they was like, yeah, we tried to take you. We went to your house and no one answered the door, so we took him to a hospital. And they took me to a hospital. I was there for like a few hours after eating for like twice, and it was just sandwich. It was just two sandwiches, and that's all I ate. And they took me, and then after that, they took me to this homeless shelter thing for about 5 days. Why is my phone not charging? What the hell is going on? Let's see. Anyway, so they they took me to a hospital, and I then they took me out. Then they took me to this place in downtown LA, which is like a homeless shelter. And it was later on in the news, like a year later. I was there for about 5 days. And there was a Christian one. And every time I try to look at TV and they will always change the channel to some religious thing. I was like, why in the hell? When I'm trying to watch TV, they change the freaking channel. The food was okay, I guess, but they always had flies around, which was weird. And and their rent was $676, which was weird. And then I was finally left because I didn't know how. I ran out of pills and I didn't have any money, and that's where I finally got SSI and not SSI, food stamps. No, that's when I finally got GR, and all I got was $150, and that's not even enough to pay for their rent. And then when I told them I didn't have the money, they were like, "Sorry, you gotta go." I had nothing. I had like stuffed animals, and that was pretty much about it. And when I left, I don't know what else happened. That was in the beginning. And anyway, when I came back when I had another episode, when I was at the board and care, they took me home, and then I remember just being there for another while. No, they took me to the hospital. I remember being at that time being outside. Being outside. Let's see. Wait, I don't even remember. Forgot. I remember telling representatives about my situation, and then I remember they left me there, and then just went to sleep, and then a little while later, I had another episode, and I told my therapist and she told my case manager, and then they took me to the hospital for a few days or something. But they thought when I got to the hospital, they thought I was fine, because I wasn't fine, but I just thought I was okay. So they took me to the hospital. Then they just brought me back that same night. I was like, okay. And because they were like, I needed to be resting for a couple days because I wasn't well. So yeah, I just wasn't myself. So they took me to the hospital, and I wasn't there for even long. I didn't sleep for days. I wasn't asleep for like 3 days. Um, I remember being at that boarding care, and I took like 3 different pills in the last 20, 30 minutes, hoping to fall asleep, which was stupid of them because they should have known better. Like, seriously, I can't sleep. Like, I wait 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm not asleep. And I went back down and said, I can't sleep. Like, you need another pill? Like, yeah. They gave it to me. It was a pill to help me sleep. So I went back up, waited another 5 to 15 minutes, still couldn't sleep, went back down. I can't sleep. Want another pill? Yeah. Gave it to me, went back up. I guess I finally fell asleep. But it was stupid because that's their own fault because I'm fucking mentally ill. How in the hell am I? Why? If I came down 5-10 minutes later saying I can't sleep, don't give me another pill. That's stupid. Just like you can't take any pill for like more than one, depending on what you're told. But if you're not on mental illness, or if you took more than one pill and you're not mentally ill or sick, it's a bad thing. It's bad. Can't do that. And I don't even know if I ever went to sleep. Anyway, I remember being in the hospital. I remember when I was at the boarding care, I was going to get my teeth fixed for a root canal. That's when my teeth were still terrible. My teeth are terrible. I went to downtown LA, Skid Row, to get my teeth fixed. And I remember it was like the third, fourth time I was there. It was almost finished with my root canal. And I started having symptoms again. And I went to downtown LA. I don't even know where I was going. I got onto the bus and I just drove. I just stayed on the bus, and I got off at Chinatown, started walking around. I didn't stay off my phone. I stayed off my phone. People were calling me and stuff, and I just ignored it. And I was like, it wasn't good. So I just started to. I'm not recording this right. Anyway, I was in downtown LA. I had a phone, and I just kept walking around. I was in Chinatown. I remember buying rice and eating it very, very slowly. And I remember after leaving, I left, and then walking around. I don't know where I was going. Just walked randomly, following lights. I remember seeing a kid walking down the street. It was pitch black. It was not pitch black. It was probably like 12 a.m. He was walking down the street, and I was following him, and I thought he was gonna help me get home. And then after a while, I wasn't really following. I followed him for a little bit, probably like 10 minutes. He was going over a bridge, and then I saw this little staircase, and I remember seeing this guy walking down there, and I'm like, oh, he knows where to go. So I just followed that guy. I went down to the stairs, and I would just kept walking wherever the hell other place I was going. He went somewhere else, and I went another direction, and I just kept walking and walking and walking, and I kept walking, and then I somehow made it to Grand Park in downtown LA, and I went and walked to a park bench, and then I was gonna fall asleep because I remember seeing a guy sleeping somewhere on a park bench, but I tried, and I'm like, yeah, I can't sleep here. I just thought it was illegal to sleep on park benches in the park, so I just didn't. And I remember going to the bathroom, and I really had to use the bathroom, but I didn't do it. I just went to the bathroom, sat down in my clothes, and I'm like, yeah, I can't pee. So I just got up and left, and because I thought somebody was gonna pick me up or something. I don't know. Anyway, I left, started walking and walking and walking. I had water, but I poured it out. I was thirsty as fuck. I had $20, but I didn't know how to get back home, which was at the boarding care, my first boarding care. And I remember seeing this guy. He looked familiar from Daniel's place. It probably wasn't the same guy. I'm pretty sure he wasn't. And I was talking to this guy, and I was talking about living together and this and that and this and that. And I remember we got onto a train, forget where, like the metro train, and we got onto the train. And at the time, I started hearing voices. There's more going on. I remember when we were walking to the train, he was holding my hand for some reason, and I remember telling him, "Oh, I'm supposed to save the world" and stuff like that. And now he would laugh. When I took my hand back, he just stared at me like he was pissed. And then he took my hand again, and then we got to the bus station. We got onto the bus. I mean, not the bus station, the train station, Metro train station, not Metro Link or anything, just a regular Metro. And we got onto a train. I used my money to get back on the train to go back to the boarding care. And oh wait, no, that was another guy. He helped me get back over there. But there was this other guy who was a homeless man. He was homeless and he was going to school or something. And he gave me his jacket. And I told him I didn't need it, but he gave it to me anyway. And then when I finally I told him I didn't have a cell phone. And then he finally gave me his cell phone number, and I told him, like, I'm sorry, I do have a cell phone. I got his number. I still had his jacket, and then I followed this other guy all the way to the train station. And then we got onto the train, and we went all the way to Hollywood. But on the train, as soon as we got on, I started freaking out because I started hearing voices again and saying, "Oh, you're going to hell! You're going to hell! Ha ha ha! You're going straight to hell!" And I was freaking out. And I got on the train, and I passed out. I fell asleep. Then when I woke, the guy woke me up, and then we got off the train. I was tired as hell, but I was awake finally. We walked around for a bit, and then I said, okay. And he said, okay, you can go home now. And we went to a bus stop, which was like near Hollywood and Highland. Hollywood and Highland. And I waited for the bus, and I used my dollar quarters to get on. And he said, "Hey, can you give me money to get back?" So I gave him like 3 of them because that's how many he needed. And and then I remember being on the bus, and he jumping up in the air like he's so happy. And I remember at that time we talked about living together, I guess. And then I remember going back to the boarding care, getting to my room and falling asleep. And then I remember waking up the next day, walking. I don't know if I was delirious or what. Anyway, I remember walking down I remember going back down to the first floor, and I was walking, and I don't know if I was delirious or delusional. I remember walking past somebody. They were like trying to take somebody out, and then this guy was going crazy. Like, I live here, blah, 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 blah. Like, they were forcing them from trying to get in anymore. About like 3-4 people trying to get them from staying out. Anyway, that same day, I think I got a phone call from this guy, the same homeless guy that gave me his jacket. And he was like, "Hey, where's my jacket? We're going to live together." I'm like, sorry, but you can't. No, I went to the hospital. Yeah, I went to the hospital that day. They'll transfer me to the hospital, and he called me saying, "Hey, where you at? I need to get my jacket back." I'm like, I can't. I'm not at my place, and I have the jacket with me, and I'm going to the hospital. He said, "Which hospital?" I'm like, I don't know. I said, and I was like, then he was getting all mad. He's like, "Where's my jacket? I need my jacket. It was a gift." And I'm like, I can't give it to you because I have it with me, and I'm in the ambulance. He's like, I don't think he was listening. And he's like, well, just give it to me. And I'm like, I can't. Like, well, just tell me where you live at, and I'll get it from there. And I'm like, it's not there. I have it with me in the ambulance, and I can't give it to you. And he's like, just tell me where you live, and I'll just pick it up and take it home. I'm like, and I'll just go inside and just take it, and then I can leave. I'm like, it's not there. Even if it was, they wouldn't allow you to go in there because they don't do that. And it's not there. Even if I do leave it, they have to give it to you. And I'm like, he was like, just give me my jacket. It was a gift. I'm like, I can't. I'm not there. I took it with me, and I can't give it to you. He's like, well, which hospital are you going to? I don't know. And then he was like, you know what? you're fucking selfish. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, so don't fucking call this number anymore. I'm like, okay. And then he hanged up. I'm like, okay. So I just, because I thought I was going to meet him at the hospital. I wasn't talking to him at the time, but I was just delirious and delusional. So I thought if I went to the hospital, I would find him and give him his jackets back. And then I remember throwing it away at the hospital, and then someone took it. Then I took it back. Then I finally threw it away like some years ago. Like when I moved to Step Up on 2nd Street. I just threw it away. I don't care. It was a jacket I always kind of wanted, but not really because I didn't really want it. And anyway, I was in the hospital for a little while, and they took me somewhere else. I think that's it. There should be more, but I don't remember everything anymore. It's all messed, it's all jumbled up. Anyway, this is the whole. That's and oh, when I finally, I'll just keep talking because I remember some other stuff. I remember when I came back to Step Up on 2nd, I went to another hospital. Then I went to a place called Percy Village, and it was a nice place. The food was good. I was there for about almost a year. And I went back to Step Up. They took me to another boarding care called the Manor across the street from Santa Monica College. I tried going to Santa Monica College again, like twice. I just dropped out twice. I gave up. It was nice. The food, no, I didn't like the food. It was disgusting. A lot of the food was disgusting. I was trying to go back to school so I could just do whatever the hell I wanted to do, which I still don't know. I know now, but it's probably impossible. And then after being there for a year, I got to Step Up on 2nd on 2nd Street in Santa Monica. And I've been here since 2017. Yeah. So I like this place. It's not bad. I can see the ocean anytime I want. I would go to the beach, but I'm scared because after top surgery, I don't want to be fat. I don't like being fat. There's nothing wrong with being fat. Some people are really pretty. A lot of people are pretty when they're fat too. I'm not happy looking at myself. Not even in this picture. Even in this video. When I lose more weight, I'll go there. Yeah. Anyway, I've been here for almost 3 years. Next month, it'll be 3. Anyway, that's it. I hope you understand this video. This is mostly a video so I can show people what my whole situation I went through with my dad, because I decided to sue him for making me this way. I could have been done with school. I could have already been doing whatever I wanted to do by now. I would have not be on SSI. I would not be on mental illness. Only thing I would probably be on is just depression pills. I'm not happy. I don't like being mentally ill. So I'm the person that likes to think everything happens for a reason. But I always try to have as much fun as possible. That's my own quote, is just have fun. I need to have I want to live life to the fullest, to as much fun as I possibly can without scaring the crap out of myself. Like jumping out of an airplane, I don't want to do that. I don't like riding roller coasters. I don't want to have sex unless I already was born a dude. If I was born a dude, I probably would have had freaking HIV by now, or some kind of probably like 5-10 different STDs, STDI, or whatever. Anyway, thanks for listening to my story, and I hope I get to post all of it. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.